Mr. Burrows, in partnership with My Kitchen Science Show, presents Exploding Ziploc Bags. For today's science experiment, you will need vinegar, baking soda, 2 to 3 Kleenexes, 2 to 3 Ziploc bags, 5 by 7 size works best, glass tray to contain the mess, small glass bowl or something that you can see through, safety glasses, paper, and pencil. Always make sure you're safe while completing science experiments by letting your parent or guardian know what you are doing.
Hi everyone, it's Mr. Burrows here. Today we're going to be doing some My Kitchen Science. So for today's experiment, we are going to need the following items. We're going to need a dish or a bowl, something clear, something to contain our mess, because things are going to get messy today. We need white vinegar, some baking soda, couple tissue papers. If you don't have tissue paper, we can substitute this for some toilet paper, maybe even paper towel, anything like that. We are going to need a Ziploc bag. Any size will do, but this size is probably the best. We are going to need a glass or a small bowl. Something clear is best. But if you can't find anything clear to use, something not clear is fine. We're going to need a pencil and a notebook. We're going to need this stuff because we're going to have to take notes of our experiment. We want to know what we're doing and how things work. Last but least, we're doing science, so we have to be safe. And we do that with our safety glasses. All right, so I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to get everything together, and then we will move along with today's experiment. So now that we have all our materials, let's start with today's experiment. We're going to start off with a little bit of think time. So a lot of us have already seen this one before. We relate this normally to the exploding volcano. But let's look at the science behind the exploding volcano. So to start off, we're going to take our clear glass. We're going to open up our vinegar and we're going to pour a little bit of vinegar into the glass. So we have some vinegar in the glass there. So what do we know about vinegar? So it's got a bit of a smell to it, funny smell. A little bitter too. So I'm going to say this is definitely acidic. This is definitely our acid. So what do we know about baking soda? So got a little bit here in the dish. Powdery. Not much of a smell to it. Bland tasting. So this baking soda is what's known as our base. So let's dump some baking soda into our vinegar here. There we have it. We have our volcano in a cup. So what do we know about what happened there? We had our liquid, which is our vinegar, and we put in our baking soda and it caused a reaction. So what do we know about the reaction? Well, I'm going to stick my ear down here. Now you can hear a little bit of fizzy noises. It's kind of slowing down now, but we definitely saw some kind of reaction there when it happened. So that's exactly what happened. So we took our two substances, our vinegar and our baking soda, and we created a reaction, which actually created a gas known as carbon dioxide. So for today's experiment, we're going to take this same concept and we are going to see if the gases are strong enough to explode a Ziploc bag. Glass or bowl volcano. We are going to move along and we are going to see if the reaction, the gases released from our vinegar and baking soda is enough to explode a Ziploc bag. So I'm going to walk everyone through this quickly, but I don't want anyone to start quite yet. I'm just going to walk you through how we're going to do this, and then I want you to think about it, and I want you to create a hypothesis on what you think is going to happen. is there going to be enough gases? Is there going to be enough carbon dioxide in this bag that it is going to explode? So what we will do is, to make things a little easier, I'm going to take some of my baking soda. I'm going to put it in a bowl here. I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to have my vinegar ready. Cap off again. I put that back on, but let's take the cap off so we're ready. We're going to take our Kleenex or whatever product you found around the house. So what we are going to do with this is going to work as our time delay. As we all saw when we pulled our two materials into that cup, the reaction was right away. It was instant. We didn't have any time. So if we do not create some kind of delay, we're going to dump our vinegar and we're going to dump our baking soda in that Ziploc bag, and we're not even going to have time to get it done up before we already have a reaction going. So this is our delay. So now that we know how things are going to work, I want you all to take a couple moments. We're going to take our pencil, we're going to take our notebook, we're going to make a little list. We're going to make a little list about what we know. So what we know that when we mix our two materials together, we get a reaction, and that reaction is creating a gas. So what we don't know how this reaction is going to go in the Ziploc bag. We don't know how much gas we are going to get. So I need you to write down your hypothesis. I need you to write down some predictions. What do we think? Do we think there's going to be enough gas that the bag is going to explode? Or is there not going to be enough gas? There's going to be a bit of a reaction, but not enough to make it explode. So I'm going to give everyone a few seconds to write down their prediction, and we will join back in and we will walk through this together and see what happens. All right, so now that we have our hypothesis, let's work through this experiment. Before we begin, I think Mr. Burrows should explain his hypothesis. And I think that we are going to have enough gas in this bag for things to explode. All right, so let's start. We'll set our bag to the side here for a second. Let's move the vinegar out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Let's set up our time delay here. So we're going to take our Kleenex or whatever product we have, we're going to put it down, and we're going to put some baking soda in there. So now that we have our baking soda, we're going to wrap that up, and then we're going to set it to the side here. We're going to open up our Ziploc bag, and we're going to hold it over top of our dish because we don't want our parents getting mad at us for making a mess, right? So let's make sure we keep things as clean as possible. So let's put some vinegar here in the bag. Got some white vinegar in the bag there, and we are going to drop our time delay baking soda in this bag, and we need to zip it up as quickly as possible, and then we're going to set it down in our dish, and we are going to see what happens. All right, so let's drop it in there. Let's zip things up. Give it a little shake, get the reaction going with the delay. Well, there we go. We had some gases there. We have a little bit of rip in the bag, but I wouldn't really say that was much of an explosion. So I'd be curious about how everybody else's went. Yeah, all right, sounds good. I'm glad yours went well. But let's think of Mr. Burrows here for a second. Why do we think that my Ziploc bag did not explode? So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to work with your partner, and you guys are going to come up with some ideas of why Mr. Burrows' bag did not explode there. We're going to come back with our ideas, and we are going to try again. All right, everyone. Mr. Burrows here again. How was your reflection time? Mine went pretty good. I got my notes here. And what I came up with was I did not use enough of my materials to create a big enough reaction to explode my Ziploc bag. So I think we're going to give things another try, and we're going to see how things go. All right, so we need to start all over again. You squeeze back here. I need another Ziploc bag. So quickly grab another Ziploc bag. We're going to set it the same as last time. And put our time delay paper product down here. This time I'm going to put in extra baking soda. We'll just get the camera down in here. That way we can all see. Got a nice big pile there. Camera back up here. All right, so I'm going to roll up my time delay. I have so much in there this time. I think I am gonna use a second time delay piece of paper product. We're gonna set our baking soda to the side. We're gonna open up our Ziploc bag. More vinegar this time, more baking soda. Since we use more material this time, that means we are gonna have to work a lot faster to try to get our Ziploc bag done. Maybe if you have someone nearby, they can lend you a hand. I'm by myself, so I'm just gonna try to get this done as quick as possible. All right, so here we go. Drop it in. We're gonna zip it up. Our time delay is working well, so I'm gonna give it a bit of a shake here. Try to get a reaction going. Oh, wow, look at that explosion. I could barely get it down in the tray. Let's watch that again in slow motion. All right, everyone, so now we know mixing our two materials, our vinegar and baking soda, we can create enough gas in a Ziploc bag to create an explosion of the bag. So now that we are done, we have one last step to do, well, maybe two. We're gonna grab our notebook and our pencil. We're gonna write down a little bit of a conclusion. Maybe we can look at the amount of materials we used, how the reaction changed. And then once we are done our conclusion, we are going to clean up our mess because we always need to leave our workspace the same way we found it. That way we do not get in trouble for making a mess in the kitchen. All right, so everyone, have a good day. Glad you enjoyed the science. And